before the news came through, we were talking to Bill, which we'll bring him back in just a minute or two. But it's great to have you both here. And again, the activity has been, people are seeing a lot of things.
They are. And I think the thing that's great about the internet is we have access to things and people are sharing things.
Yes.
And then they feel, you instantly, if you see something, everybody around the world knows.
They do.
Good or bad.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Bill, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good. I just want to ask Erika a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Before I ask the first question, Erika, I just want to give you a little background. Back in December of 2012, Eric, who's American Road Warrior, my partner in the skywatching, he was in a hotel. It was called the Caprese Hotel in Rincon, Puerto Rico, and he witnessed a ship off the coast which went into the water. And I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on USOs, the underwater submerged objects?
I think that there sure are a lot of reports, and even though this isn't an area that I really investigate because I'm in Utah, and I wish I was by the ocean. I wish that would be wonderful. But there are lots of people that believe there are bases underwater. I think there's one off the coast of Santa Barbara, from what I understand. Isn't there? Have you heard about that? Catalina Island. So why not? There's a lot about the ocean we don't know either. I think that's definitely a possibility, and we've got lots of reports about it.
And also, it seems that from generation to generation, the objects in the description, the shape, seems to change. And I'm wondering, do you think this could be our technology just progressing over time, that most of these craft that is being seen, if not all, could just be man-made, ours? Or do you think it could be connected to recovered craft that have been recovered and back engineering their technology?
I think my thought is that this is back engineering technology. I think that typically, and I was just looking at some stuff before I came here about art and different things through the centuries, and we've had saucer type craft depicted in art. I mean, all the way since the first cave drawings.
Right.
And that's so true. I think that we always have the craft like that, so that's never really changed. The black triangles, that seems to be a newer phenomena, but I think a lot of it is military. I think some of it isn't, and I don't think it's from here. That's my personal opinion.
Now, if MUFON, this is my last question, then I'll go. If MUFON was to have irrefutable proof, do you think you would have any problems going to the public with this? Would there be any roadblocks? Say maybe the government would try to step in and interfere with you releasing any material?
That's a good question. I think we already have irrefutable proof. I think that we have more documentation, more credible witness testimony, trace evidence. We have information. If you spent an hour looking through, and you probably have, this, we have more information and more, it's happening. I don't think there's a question that this is happening. And I think sometimes the public, we've got all of the skeptics out there, and they're just not informed. So wake up, people. I don't know. I mean, all of us from MUFON, I believe, are saying it's happening. That's why we're getting the message out.
Fortunately, at the present time, I think more people are less skeptical and more open-minded. I think that the public is actually accepting the possibility of UFOs. It's also education. The more we get involved with the scientific aspect, because we're discovering all these exoplanets and the possibility of life. I'm not going to say next door, but, it seems more and more that there's a lot of life out there. And I think people are ready for disclosure. Now, as far as political or religious aspects of it, that's a whole different issue. But I think the people are ready. I think we deserve to know the truth.
I think we do too, and I think the process of disclosure is always an interesting topic. Yeah. And are we ready? I don't think the government will ever come out and say this is happening, folks.
But you might have another government like in Mexico or Brazil, those that are more open with this stuff, and they may come out with something that may force our hand.
Oh, that would be great.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that something will make them come out with everything. But again, it would open Pandora's box because then everything they told us was a lie.
Right. Well, I think that's exactly why they're keeping such tight control over everything. But, we've had so many multiple, you look at something like the Phoenix Lights, and I keep going back to that case, but 10,000 people are seeing a large craft going over their city. I don't know what more, what more
do you
we
want?
need. It's really funny. And I know for me personally, even talking about my experiences, you get a lot of ridicule from people. It's amazing. I don't know. Hopefully someday we will all be ready for it. Clearly we are.
And then what was it? The governor, I think it was, that he had that press conference. Yeah, and then after he was out of office, then he said, "Oh, by the way, I did see a UFO or an object during that time, that period with the Phoenix Lights." So I think the media, you see, that's what bugs me too. You have all these people with such incredible backgrounds, reliable witnesses, and the media just doesn't give them the time of day to give them exposure. That's what we need. We need more exposure to these people. That's what I believe. How could you leave this the way it is? We need these people to have a bigger forum. That's what I believe.
We do. And I think, you look at somebody like George Knapp, who, on a personal level, this coming forward and being such a relentless, journalist about this sort of thing. That's been really hard on his career. It's been hard on his psyche. It's a challenging thing. And you're right. It's almost deplorable that people from the media, mainstream media, wouldn't get over themselves and maybe start reporting things that will have a huge social impact.
Right. Well, you're right about, with George Knapp. Anytime his name is brought up, you think of Las Vegas, Area 51, UFOs, Bob
Lazar.
Yeah, Bob Lazar. That's all you think of. And the guy is an unbelievable reporter. He reports on so many other things, but he's got that kind of hung over his head at the moment.
I know. It's sad, but more and more I think that the tides are changing. Too many people are speaking out and kind of demanding that people pay attention. And there are, like I said, there's so many, we all know there's so many credible witnesses, and their voices need to be heard. And we need to just say, okay, this is happening, and what are we going to do about it?
Right.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure, Erika, to speak with you again.
I know, it's so nice to talk to you. And for sure, I want to find out about your stuff, and then we're going to get that set up here.
We are.
Yes, I look forward to that.
Have a Merry Christmas, my friend.
You too. Happy holidays, and I will speak to you soon. Take care, Erika.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Care. Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye. Yeah, Bill and Erika, they spend a lot of time doing the sky watching thing. It's just amazing, and we've talked about that offline about it just needs to be more people out there doing that, because when you've got the cameras rolling, they do pick up so much stuff.
Well, it's all out there. We just have to pay attention and slow down. And like I mentioned on the last show, we train our children and to be observers of their surroundings, and we're never training them or ourselves to look up. That's an important piece. We have to be aware of our surroundings, not just in front of our face.
Exactly. Do you does MUFON does it attract kind of a younger audience? That's one thing that I was interviewed on a program not too long ago, and I'm not a ufologist by any means. I call myself a researcher's researcher. It's just to bring all these different people together. But to me, it seems like, I don't know, it seems like it's gone a little stagnant. We've got a lot of great researchers out there, but no new young people are coming up and doing this. You've still kind of got the old troopers out there, and I'm not saying there's anything bad about that, but it would be nice to see some new people step in and pick things up. And I don't know, maybe the young people are afraid to tackle these subjects. I don't know.
Oh boy, I think you're right about that. We do have kind of the old school people that we just Love and Joy. I mean, Frank Salisbury, Dr. I mean, all of these, Leo Sprinkle, all of these gifted people that have been around for so long, and I am ready for them to pass the torch in my direction, give me their knowledge, I mean, I would love that. And I mean, needless to say, I'm not the younger generation, as much as I'd like to tell myself in my mind, but
I mean, but we've got a lot of these people like, Stanton Friedman. They're not getting any younger.
Right.
And it just seems like there's really nobody new out there to pick up the torch.
You're right.
You want to go ahead and take another call?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Caller, good evening. Welcome to Fringe Radio.
Hey, Chief.
Hey, Harv, how are you?
Not bad. I remember hearing Neil Furr on the K-Talk radio about 30 years ago.
Okay.
His book was Breaking the God Spell.
Okay.
Then after that, I found out about the guy, the 12th planet guy.
Zachariah Sitchin.
Sitchin?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Nicely done. Yeah, and so then I met Sitchin in Salt Lake at a book signing. And I took all my books out. At the time, he only had 4. And I asked him to sign them, and he did. And I said, "What do you think about God?" And he goes, "I don't want to discuss it." Swear to God, I'm not lying to you. Man, we were over at that motel. He was in the finger. I went in there and I told him, I said, "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "You're Jewish, right?" And he goes, "Well, everybody's something."
Yeah.
That's a good
Lord. Yeah, it was, I couldn't get anybody to go with me. It was crazy. Nobody knew who he was. And then when David Icke, I met him over at the whatchamacallit. Nobody wanted to go there either. So
it's interesting how many of these people in this community, in this world of open-mindedness, have come through Salt Lake City and given talks. It's amazing, all the people that have come here to this town and talked about things over the years.
And thanks to this woman. I mean,
thanks to this lady that's sitting right here with us. She's put a lot of this together.
She has. She's amazing.
Who is that?
That's Marley Spendlove.
She's in the studio?
She's here with Erika. Yeah, they're both here.
I'm sorry to say, I never heard of you.
You don't need to.
Yeah, she's kind of on the down low, but
I think I do need to.
She's amazing. She does a lot for this field, and I remember going to a MUFON meeting 5-6 years ago that she had put on that would just blew my socks off. She's great.
Yeah.
And it's her birthday.
Oh, it's her birthday. It's her birthday today. Yeah, happy birthday, Marley.
Thank you. It's good to be 30 again.
30. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I wasn't on board. I've been on board for about 20, 30 years. It just depends on who knows where it goes. Good God Almighty.
I know. I hear you.
We know dang well they're coming from outer space. Everybody knows that. That's no mystery.
It isn't.
And,
it isn't.
I agree with you, sis.
Well, why don't you stop up at the Hunter Library next Saturday?
Man, I'm going over to, I got to go back overseas, so, okay?
Oh, okay.
Jeez. It's not like, I don't really have a life. My wife tells me what I do.
Oh.
She's the boss, huh?
Tell her to give me some pointers.
Well, yeah. Oh, now I hate you too.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah.
I'm giving you a hard time.
You have to go. Doesn't matter what you think. And I'm like, oh, shut up.
Oh, you've probably been married for a long time, haven't you?
Excuse me? I'm sorry, what the? Oh,
You've been
Yeah.
how long you been married, Harv?
All this time,
Yeah.
7 years.
Oh,
Okay.
7-year itch. Well,
She's the
I
boss.
was married 3 times, and then that ain't worked out. That was my fault. And then I was married 8 years, and then she died from HIV.
oh,
Ooh.
Lord.
And then, yeah, you know, things happen. Bad things.
So you're kind of like Joan Collins then. So you
Yeah.
get like a new spouse, and you could say that, because I always thought Joan Collins was so cool on Dynasty, and she had like all these boyfriends, husbands in real life, and every time she got married, her diamond got bigger. It was just fabulous.
I didn't get no diamond.
Well, better start working on that.
Well, you got one? I might look you up.
I do. I don't know how my husband puts up with me either.
She's the boss. Hey, Harv, have a Merry Christmas, brother.
You're a pretty cool kid, sis. Thanks, old brother. I appreciate you being there.
All right, we'll talk to you
Take
soon.
care.
Take care, my friend.
That was fun.
Thanks.
Take care.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holiday.
Gotta love Harv.
Oh, he's
He
cute.
He does. He calls in. He stirs it up. It is amazing though how many people have come through Salt Lake City and given talks. Stanton Friedman actually came in and gave several talks at the University of Utah. I never knew this.
Wow.
It wasn't advertised.
Right. I believe he did some talks for up at the planetarium in his earlier days. It's just amazing. Well, Grant Cameron comes through every year, right? He does his whirlwind tour. He goes down to Open Mines, and then he goes to Sedona, and then kind of comes up through Vegas, and then ends up always stopping up here, calling, and just a great guy.
Yeah,
Just-
birthday girl. She gets it.
she does.
Here.
She makes
does.
it
She's
work.
Amazing.
She makes it work.
She is the woman.
She makes it work.
No, she does. It's fantastic, and hopefully we can get a big network out here, and
Yeah.
and just keep getting the word out. And we appreciate you getting the word out about MUFON Utah. It's a fun thing, and hopefully, I'm hoping that at some point in time we can do. MUFON's got the new Hangar 1.
Right.
And I'm
Want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it is. It's a cool show. It's on H2, and they do MUFON case files.
Okay.
And they have different field investigators talk about the case files, and it's actually a really good. They've done a great job with it. Season 2, we've got some new field investigators on there, and I think it'll be great. And I'm putting bugs in people's ears that we need to do a little story about Utah and perhaps Skinwalker Ranch territory. So we'll see what happens. But, every show like that is done correctly really lends credence and gives people a forum to talk about things. And it's great.
Now, is that something that you're, Marley, you had a group together for a long time about, educating, and you guys are going to both work together then and try to bring in different speakers and stuff in time. And I mean, now with the miracle of Skype, we can bring people in without having to pay for a airline ticket and all the other stuff. But I know, talking to you and talking to Marley about all the people, like I was amazed at the story you talking about Piola Harris, who came to Utah, gave a talk. It took a bus to get here.
Wow.
Some people in the early, now all these people are flying, they're jet setting and flying all over, and I don't, not that they're, well, maybe they are millionaires, I don't know, but I mean, they're because it's the love of it, and I know that in this business, there's nobody making millions, no matter what anybody thinks.
Nope.
Even if you put a book or two out, and you make a couple of bucks, you go to a few conventions, and the airfare and the hotel and the food will eat up the little bit of profits you make from your books. But it's the people that do it, without a doubt. I mean, they're dedicated to
Stephen
to
Greer
this.
might be making some money though. He might be making.
Well, he's a
I think
doctor
got it.
too, right?
Yeah, he's got some.
I don't think he functions as a doctor anymore.
What did you guys think about, gals? What did you guys think about that little? I have not seen Cirrus. People have asked me about that. I have not seen that, and there's been a lot of
boy.
people that talks about that little space alien creature.
I saw it, and I'm still quite not sure what to think about it. I don't think it was not what I was expecting. So, I would rather watch something by, James Fox. I always think he does such great stuff. And so, or even Lynn Keatai, Dr. Lynn Keatai did a great Phoenix Lights. Yeah, great documentary. And
she did. She did. Yeah, it's. I haven't seen Cirrus. I really need to. I did watch. I mentioned it a couple of times. I had Maddie Beckerman on, who put together the movie Alien Abduction. Now it's about the Brown Mountain Lights, and of course he made a horror movie out of it. And anyone who has Netflix, it's out there. You can see it. It scared the living hell out of me.
Ooh. Yeah. Maybe I'll watch that tonight then.
Yeah. It's a scare. It to me it scared me. These aliens were abducting people and taking them, and they weren't showing you much of the alien, but the people screaming and trying to get away it was scary.
Is it like Blair Witch? Alien Blair Witch?
Yeah, but 10 times more intense.
Did it have anything to do with the truth?
I don't know. Maybe.
But it's scary.
You need to get Joshua Warren on. I mean, he's kind of the Brown Lights or the Brown Mountain Lights expert, No, it's a good. If you want a scary movie, go watch Alien Abduction by Maddie Beckerman. We had him and his wife on back in May, I believe it was, and great film. It's a little different, but check it out if you want to see something, scare the heck out of you. Go check it. It's a good scare, and watch it all the way till the end, past the credits.
Okay. Is there another good scare at the end?
Yeah, it kind of puts it all together.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with all these new movies out. You almost have to. People remember, like it would be like as soon as the movie was over, everybody was running out the door and stuff. Now half the theater stays full because some of the movies there's quite a bit after all the the credits roll for 5 minutes, and yet there's something there.
Oh, they're sneaky.
All the Marvel movies do that. There's something at the end of them. But yeah, it's check it out. It's called Alien Abduction, and it's on Netflix. I think maybe I don't know if it's on HBO or there, but I know it's on Netflix for sure.
So how was it compared to The Fourth Kind?
Well, not as technical, just more scary.
Okay. Ooh, goody. All right, popcorn and hot tamales later tonight.
And turn the volume up, and it'll get the best of you. But it was fun without a doubt. We are in our final segment of the first 2 hours, having some fun with Marley and Erika. Do you want to talk, Erika, a little bit about? MUFON just did a like an Indiegogo Kickstarter type thing, a data bit. Can you talk a little to that?
Yeah. So what MUFON is trying to do, and I think it is amazing, is we're trying to get some money because we're nonprofit, and so we rely on membership and different things to help us stay afloat. And so we're trying to raise enough funds so we can redo the website, and then also with our CMS system for field investigators and state directors, it makes collecting data and analyzing that a lot more efficient. And then we also want to try to get all of the databases from all over the world, because right now, I mean, you've got all New Fork and all of these different places that are working so hard. And if there's some way that we could combine all of these, that would be wonderful, and have one database for all of this research.
And then people will be able to look it up. It'll be kind of public. You'll be able to go out and kind of do your own research.
Right. And then, as people that are really scientifically looking into this phenomena, it makes everything much easier, or a little bit easier, to have all the information under one umbrella. Yep.
Yeah. What, a couple questions that came in. What is, and I don't want to go deep into the political thing of stuff, but with MUFON, there was a relationship or something with Bigelow Aerospace.
Right.
In simply, what happened? Did Bigelow buy all the data or get all the data, or?
It was my understanding, and I think that's such an interesting period of MUFON, but he came in and offered to give MUFON some money and to help the research. And then it's my understanding, and I could be wrong about this part, but then, he would also have access to the case reports, which we all do anyway. It's public. Mm-hmm. So, he could do his own research. I mean, he's a big paranormal, as we know. He researches all sorts of stuff. And so that was something that
But it's just interesting with him owning Skinwalker Ranch and and his aerospace company and everything. It's just interesting that he would want all that as well.
Well, he's a resourceful guy and he
Yeah.
wants information, and he was, at that time, he was willing to come in and help MUFON with some finances. And so I think that there probably was, and I wasn't in MUFON at the time, so I'm just speculating, but I think there might have been a little, it might have been a little over
Sure,
the top.
sure.
I mean, they're always, it's
Any
all
organization,
truth lies in the,
right. Any organization of that size, that happens. And there's two sides to every story.
right,
and,
absolutely.
But the repository sounds like a cool thing. I mean, sounds like that's going to be a good thing.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, MUFON's been working really hard, and I think that I just am excited. I think 2015 is going to be a great year for ufology.
You think we're going to see something in our lifetime that's going to, and I've asked this question of just about every guest I've had in the studio or on the air, do you think we're going to see something in the not too distant future in our lifetimes that's going to be nothing, you can't dispute it? Do you think we'll see a sign? Do you think we'll see something? I know some people say, well, we already are, but do you think that we're going to see something someday that's going to put everything to rest and say, there is no doubt about it, there's something else here?
I think
Someone else, yeah.
I believe that will happen. I think that we're either being conditioned for that to take place, by something from, the great beyond or the government. But I think that we're making discoveries every day. And I really feel that something is going to happen, hopefully in our lifetimes. Maybe next week. That'd be great.
It would be great. Tonight would be cool.
I know. Beam me up to the mothership. That's
Want to take
good.
another call?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Caller, good evening. Welcome to Fringe Radio.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. I'm not certain necessarily if this topic, because it's hard to bring up, this topic is kind of sort of down our line, but it's sometimes it's hard to figure out, to find experts on it. But one of the topic it is sensory plasticity for people who may have sensory challenges, be it sight or whatever. And what I'd like to have is to have some experts on building the inner Gestalt awareness and building the senses and the mind's eye, and building what I consider a second sense or a second sight, and trying to build that, and people who be interested in different exercises that could lead to that, or yogas, or different things.
Right. I think that there are, in fact, I love that, and I meditate and try to open my third eye and get in touch with my intuitive side, because I think, unfortunately, we don't, we have all of these gifts and we don't access them, and technology's a lot to blame for that. But I think that there are lots of places and people that I know that work at doing this, so I know it's out there. And if you're in Utah, you can look at Catalyst magazine and find some really great resources to help you.
Maybe we need to bring
that.
someone like that on the program.
Yeah.
I would like to see somebody talking about this, and as a practical use, how to use these senses or alternative senses to help somebody such as me, to help them in three-dimensional reality, not necessarily up there or out there, although I believe in that. But I believe that three-dimensional reality would be a lot more useful if I was able to perceive it better and read it.
And understand it.
Yeah, and understand it, and be able to perceive, be able to walk around and know where I'm at, be able to sense a color, be able to read and intuit something at a distance.
So do you feel like you have any, do you feel like you have a ability to do that now?
That is what I am needing at this point. That is what I need to try to work on, and I'd like to have somehow eventually have some type of a sender type of a situation where you're working 24/7 and you go in and you can do different things to develop yourself, and you're doing a lot of practicing, and you have either one-to-one or have some type of group to where you're doing and practicing skills and focusing there.
Right. It sounds like you need a good guru. And if you start, are you meditating?
I'm doing some meditation and trying to get into some of the yogas and Kundalini, but I need a Kundalini teacher who can teach yoga to somebody that doesn't see with their sight, and
Right.
I'm trying to do Kundalini and
You do, and you have to
Qigong.
be a little careful. And I'm just have heard a lot about Kundalini and have experienced that myself. Having a Kundalini, when your Kundalini rises and you don't have somebody to guide you through that process, it can be really detrimental to your mental health and so
Really?
and your physical well-being. So you really need to make sure you find somebody to help you that knows what they're doing while you're going through this transformative process.
Yeah.
Watch our website. We're going to have. We were talking before the show started. We've had Travis Hill on our program several times, and he talks and touches. He's a psychic here in town, and he's touched on a few of these subjects. And watch our website. We're going to get Travis back on, and be good if you were to call in when Travis is here.
Yeah, I don't have a website. All I have is a number, just a landline home
Okay,
number.
gotcha. Well, listen, we'll announce upcoming guests real soon. We're getting the calendar built for 2015 for the whole month of January.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Do you think this next Saturday get together that you were talking about next Saturday, do you think this would be a way to actually network with somebody and find resources and network around for this subject?
I don't know. You never know, but it's open to everybody to come out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It'll be at the Hunter Library over in West Valley, starting at 2 p.m.
At the Hunter Library.
Yes, sir.
And make sure you pick up a Catalyst magazine, because that's your resource. That's a great place to find out about those intuitive arts and that great
Yeah.
stuff.
Pick up a Catalyst. Not yet can read it, so I'd have to have some help with that.
All right, well, we're going to let you go. We got a couple other callers lined up. Have a Merry Christmas, a good holiday, and maybe
Yeah.
we'll see you next Saturday.
Yeah, at the Hunter Library.
Yes, sir.
That's at the Hunter Library.
Okay?
Okay, if I can find it.
All right. Have a good
Take care.
night.
All right, thanks.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks.
A lot of interesting, that's what it's about. It's about being open-minded and
Yep.
exploring different things.
Oh, absolutely. That's great.
So we've got a couple minutes left. What is on the plate for you in MUFON in Utah, and what's going on? What do we got to look forward to?
Oh boy, 2015 is going to be a great year. We've got new people, a new section state director, Heather. She's up in the Ogden area, and she's come on board. She's from Missouri, and she was the state section director there. Between Marley and I, we're going to really
Got a new
do
website coming up.
Yeah, new website, great meetings. It'll be great. So just everybody, please go to the MUFON website and file reports. Pay attention to your surroundings. Keep your camera with you, and do research. This is a very fascinating field, and it's happening, people.
It is. Keep your eyes to the sky. Next Saturday, again at the Hunter Library at 4100 South, 4800 West, from 2 to 5 p.m. 27th. Give a little talk about ufology and kind of what I do, being a researcher's researcher. And will you attend as well? Will you be there possibly?
I'm going to try. I actually have a gig on New Year's Eve.
You do?
So I might have to practice. I might have to get together with the band and do some practicing.
Well, there you go. There
but
you
hopefully
go.
I'll be there because I want to hear you. I'm so excited.
Well, it'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it. And then you'll be doing other stuff,
Absolutely.
and we'll get that on our website
we've-
too, and get it in the Facebook and stuff. So
And Aileen Dave is going to be our next guest speaker. We're hoping to do that January 11th. And anybody in
Okay.
Utah who knows about ufology around these parts,
Aileen Dave is the
Aileen
guy.
Dave's amazing.
he is. He's been doing it for forever.
He
Not
has.
as long as Marley has, but
He and I were partners at first.
really, wow. Did he kind of took? Did he take a little step back away from it for a while?
He did.
Yeah, yeah. It's so there's just so much to cover. There's so much out there.
There is, and he does have a great YouTube channel,
He does.
UFO Hunters, Utah
Yes.
UFO Hunters. So check it out.
And they do all kinds of cool things. I mean, they go up in caves, and I mean, it's
They're all over Dugway,
They're all
outside
over-
Dugway.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
neat, and they're always at Comic-Con.
Yep.
He and my friend Ryan, they're up there, and Ryan lives
Oh, Ryan
next
Burns.
to Ryan
Yep.
Burns. I love
Yep.
Ryan, and he's next to Skinwalker Ranch,
Yep.
and has some great stories and a good book. So check it out.
yeah
Good speaker.
we've had him on the a couple of times, yeah, and ran into him at Comic-Con. I don't know if you've gone to Comic-Con. I go for I get a press pass. I'm out of there by about 1 o'clock on the first day because I've had enough. It's cool just to walk around, but it's just so crazy in that place.
Oh, it is. I only went because William Shatner was there, and I had to do the Shatner stock. So
Did you get his signature?
You know, I got a picture with him, and I have to say it was the best 10 seconds of my life because he looked at me and, pleasure to meet you. I about had a heart attack. It's great. It was awesome.
Yeah, he wasn't at the last one, but I'm wondering if I don't know if he's going to be at Fan X. Fan X is coming up actually end of January. They moved it right up with I think they aligned. Well, no, it's going to be at Salt Palace, but they aligned it with the Redford thing, Sundance Festival. So they thought it maybe would work out, so people that come in for Sundance could also take advantage of that.
Oh,
so it's
boy,
the
well,
same.
I'll be out of town. I'm just
You
kidding.
will?
No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. But if Shatner's there, we
I
better
don't know
put
if
a
he's
little
still on.
shout out to him to tell him to get ready.
Well, we were able to
Because I'll be there.
with your wallet and credit card to give them more money.
Whatever. That's the best picture. It was just best,
It was well worth it.
It was
huh?
worth it.
It was well worth it. I want to thank you both for being here tonight. 2 hours went way too fast, but we had a lot of fun. Learned a lot. We definitely will keep in touch, and it's
Absolutely.
great if we can get you back on every other month or
I'd
maybe
love
every
it.
quarter of the year. It would be great just to give people an update, especially here in Salt Lake. So much going on, and again, there's been sightings and stuff like that. A lot of neat stuff.